What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my garage. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all crushing life. Now I gotta start off first by saying everybody's perfectly fine. Baby B, Mrs. B, we're all physically fine. It was a little bit of a stressful incident, if you will, but physically everybody is good. Also, the Hellcat is perfectly fine. The Shelby GT350 perfectly fine. The Ferrari is perfectly fine. And even the beloved Shelby F-150 is perfectly fine. However, yes, the Subaru Outback. We had a bit of a skirmish the other day. Bit of an incident getting on the freeway. She done got hurt. Now, my wife and baby B were helping a friend move the other day, and they were getting on the freeway, and there was a collision with another Toyota Camry, actually, and it fared a little bit worse. The Subaru Outback, a little bit tougher than the Camry. I digress. What made that situation a little bit more stressful is, one, I forgot to register this vehicle. Now, fortunately, 2 days prior to the incident, we caught it and got it registered. It was 4 months past due. I don't know if I should admit that. But secondly, I was golfing when that happened, up a canyon with very little cell service. So when a text finally came through that said there was an accident, obviously I had to rush to the clubhouse, get the vehicle. It took an hour drive to get to where the incident occurred. So that just added to the whole stress of the situation. I didn't have any updated insurance card in the vehicle because, you know, you get those things in the mail all the time, and obviously I get a lot of them. So I left my wife in a bit of a pickle with a lack of information and no husband with any cell service to help the situation. So yeah, it was a bit of a panic, but everybody again is perfectly fine. And as you all know, I'm not the YouTuber that's gonna go and fix this damage myself. I'm not even gonna consider it. It's not an option. James was like, you should fix it, bro, and I'm like, absolutely not gonna happen. So in the morning, we are taking this to the body shop. I don't know what the cost is gonna be, but it's obviously covered under insurance, so it's not that big of a deal. And also, I think it's just cosmetic. Engine, tires, wheels, everything, it drives perfectly fine. It's just kind of these pieces right here got a little bit of damage, and the door will not open all the way because it does catch right here, so that's kind of annoying, but regardless, we'll get that fixed. So all in all, the damage is very minor, and the other individual in the Camry, even though the Camry got dinged up a little bit more, they're perfectly fine as well, which is pretty much all that matters in any automobile accident, is that everyone comes out perfectly fine. Now, even though I said I'm not going to fix this, I am going to do my part. I'm going to drive it to the body shop, so I'm doing my part. But in this video, I'm going to fix 2 other vehicles, not major stuff, but things that kind of really affect, I mean, they're nuanced, they're annoying things with your vehicles that you have to fix, and I'm going to attempt to fix them. And hopefully by the end of this video, we have the Hellcat fixed and the Ferrari fixed, because there are 2 things that I haven't really told you guys about. Well, that one kind of popped up. It's an old thing, but it's new. And the Hellcat is something I never told you about either, but it's, again, I think I can fix them. So I'm going to go put baby B to bed, and then I'm going to put myself to bed, get some crucial Z's. And in the morning, we're going to be emotionally strong, mentally strong, and we're going to accomplish something for once on these videos. See you in a second. Situation with the Hellcat. Remember a while back when a bolt failed and the whole front end went and we had to get it towed? Well, everything's fixed and we're all good to go, except when that was dragging on the road as I was pulling off the side of the road, we got some rocks stuck in between the side bits of fenders here. So I'm gonna try to take it off and get the rocks out, put it back on. I don't know how. I don't know if I have the tools, the expertise, how it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try and hopefully not have to use a lifeline. And the Ferrari should be an even easier fix than that. When I bought it, one of the underpans was loose. It was flapping at freeway speeds. So we just took what washers and bolts we had at the time and kind of got it tightened up. However, that failed. Now it's flapping again at freeway speeds, which obviously is not good because I don't want it to fail and shred the underbelly of the car. So we got to get it off the ground somehow. I don't know if I have a jack or anything. Get some bigger washers and bolts and so forth and get that sucked up, secured, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. That's all we got to do. Simple, simple in theory. What's going on? Almost. Alright, so you can see the rocks are actually jammed in between this piece here, which we gotta take off. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, yeah, we'll go under, take that off. That's no big deal. Get those out. But you can see the alignment right here is not perfect. It's because there's some rocks right in there. So you can see that bit, a little bit is just pushed out. So we're just gonna get that cleaned up as well. I think I can do it now. And all I've done is taken that piece off, and this is just, that's it. That's all I've done. This is not worthy of the work I performed. However, it looks like I've been busting. All right, here's the situation. We got a lot of the rocks cleaned out that were up in there, but I feel like there's like one jammed up in there that I can't get out, I think, unless we get maybe this other piece off or it on the lift to see. So I think I'm gonna take wide body kit all the way off and maybe take it to a shop, get it on a lift, we'll see. I was hoping it would be a lot easier than that. This isn't getting done today, folks. What a surprise. We're still trying to get this more flush, but this piece is just, it's not, I don't think it's bent or damaged or anything like that. I think it's just being forced out by some rocks deep in there. If we can get this piece off, get those out, I think we'll be fine, but I just can't, access anything. Lame. Oh no, another one? Hole plug, maybe? I forgot it had underglow attached to this whole thing, so I got those cables. What a disaster. There's a lot of reasons why I don't like to work on cars. 3 main reasons. One, mentally, I'm not strong enough. Emotionally, mentally, when you're taking things apart, I just get stressed because you got to put it back together. The skill, the know-how, mentally, I break down. Secondly, if I ever resell a vehicle, I want to make sure I can tell the future buyer that, like, hey, this thing was done right, it was done correctly, it was done soundly. You can feel confident about the work done. So I will do things up to a certain point that I'm comfortable with, and then get a professional to be able to have that, like, assurances. And thirdly, it just takes too long. We've been at this for a couple hours. This is all we've done. We still got a long ways to go to figure out how to, you know, I don't have time for this. But the problem is I also don't have money because I don't have a job, so paying someone to fix it is easier, but you need the money, you need a job. It's the circle of life, it's brutal, but this just takes me way too long to do this. Speaking of which, let's move on to the Ferrari. Now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this whole flap here is loose. It's got 4 like rivet washer pieces that have fallen off or are out. It'd be easier on a lift, but I might be able to just get this thing tuckered back up in there if I get the right parts. We're gonna go give it a try. Oh, great. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every day. One day though, we're gonna get a Hummer. Cheeseburger. Thank you. Thanks, man. Got a bunch of GM, Acura, and Ford parts here. Oh, I forgot. We got to get this one out, though. Too fat, too skinny. Fat, oh, too fat, too fat, too fat, too fat. So we got all these pieces here, and I got a couple to fit that I think are gonna do the job, but there's one that, like, they're all too fat. I need a skinnier one, which I'm a little bit shocked about. So I think we're secure for now, though. I think I can drive it again, which was a lot more successful than I thought it'd be. So that's good. I know they're just push pins, but for me, this is a big deal. Oh. Also, you may be wondering why the tape measure. I should not admit this publicly, but I can't find a hammer. I think I only have one hammer, and I can't find it. So that's kind of embarrassing, too. I think we owe ourselves a quick rip in the Ferrari, but check this out. Back to the Hellcat. Look at all the rocks, especially up here, that we've been carrying. Yeah, like this is, we've been carrying that around ever since I scraped on the bottom. But again, everything looks fine. These are some beefy tires, though. So what I've decided I'm gonna do is we're gonna keep this piece off for now, and we're gonna take the car to 218 Automotive. We're gonna put it on a lift and see if we can just clear this out, if it's just current rock, or if it's actually bent. If it's bent, then I'll probably just take it to body shop and have it kind of like put back into place. It should be minor. It's just a little, I don't think the actual body panel is bent. It's just that bottom support that's kind of pushing it out. So we'll get that sorted out, but I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna call that a wrap on the Hellcat for today. Also, side note, I don't think I've mentioned the front splitter on the Shelby GT350 has fallen off. Now that actually happened before the trip to Colorado Springs. We were able to get it like bolted back up, and then we put some duct tape up here to like keep the aerodynamics here, but it's pretty secure now. But this whole thing just fell off. You can see my Instagram and see how bad it was. So we're good on that now. However, I do need to replace that, but fortunately I had on my list of to-dos to replace that anyways with some special parts, and actually we got a lot more to do. I've said too much. Stay tuned. Kind of excited for this. And if you're like, yeah, blah blah blah, we've seen the GT350, you've had this for a while, what I'm about to do is going to be a permanent, long-term, we're going to finalize the GT350 build and then put it away in the garage forever. Obviously not forever, but you know what I mean. Now, I'm not gonna jump into the Ferrari the way I am. That Alcantara interior, it just gets dirty so easily, so I'm gonna get showered up. I'm gonna take the Ferrari out on a spin and just make sure that we can hit 120 and just be perfectly fine. We're not hitting 100, make sure we hit 65 and we're gonna be fine. Because obviously whenever you work on a car, you gotta get in yourself and drive it and make sure it's sound and secure. And especially if I've worked on a car, I gotta make sure it's sound and secure. Even though really we just put those plastic push pins in, it should be good. But again, we're talking about me who had yeah, I've got all sorts of like the basic, most dumbest things. Regardless, I appreciate all your support. I wish y'all nothing but the best of luck. Make sure you go crush it. Peace.